All right. Evening, everyone. This is Anon. None of this is financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. I'm going to be covering a couple things today, answering some questions, seeing how everyone's doing. Let me go ahead and get everything booted up. There we go. All right. Let me see where we're at. Here we go. Jerry still got that number one going. Him and Drake together. You guys, it said, you guys have had the same timestamp. You both came in at the same exact time. I can't see on YouTube though because I'm looking at OBS, but it looks like you guys tied. But maybe you didn't. Maybe Drake got it this time. But your timestamps are the same. Jesse Rodriguez, your voice is so hot. Thanks. What a day, huh? Yeah. It was a good day. I was gonna say, obviously, between Aterian was very slight day, but obviously with DTC that was a pretty good day. For anyone that wasn't aware, we've been trying to basically write up some DD on DTC, and here yesterday we had a low of 476, and then today we had a high of 574. So that's like a nice full dollar swing in a day, which is at one point I think we were up like 12%. So, and this is a very obviously natural, I mean, this all happened really fast too. It was just like, and then all of a sudden it's down in percentage. I don't even know what it was, but it was down a lot very quickly. And I'm like, yeah, that shows me something's going on here, because this is all within like 5 minutes. Like at least with these ones, you had like that's across 20 minutes. This was like on like a couple single candles. Here it is. Look at that candle. Going from like 570 all the way down to, what was that, 555 on a single 1 minute candle. Yeah, like that's not natural. So, but yeah, I mean, it bounced. They were trying to cut it below VWAP and then just bounced off and ended up higher. So, all right. Jesse Rodriguez. Sorry, he's married. What's up, Dan? Yeah, you got into DTC? Yeah, congrats. I was going to say, I think there's going to be some interesting things going on with that. All right, let me do this. Let me do the normal stuff I'm supposed to get people in here. Let me boot up Twitter. Let me boot up YouTube and push out that I've gone live. Okay. So we're slowly gaining some people. I mean, I'm just taking a look. If you haven't already, I mean, the only people that are in here are people that are probably in the Discord, but if we do pick up new people at some point, if you can like the video, it helps, the algo push it out to more people. So I'm sure I'm not high up on many people's list for some of these other tickers that I listed. So maybe if we can get that going, that'd be a good thing. So let's do this. Let me go and turn this on. All right, so I got that. Now I need to tweet it, and we need to basically write it up in Discord real quick. All right. YouTube. Let me just click on this. So yeah, you guys tell me how you're doing. Tell me what how your day's been. Cankle feet for days. Yeah, yeah. You guys, you wanted to see who was it that they were gonna reveal something, and then they were like, if Alan does this, I'll tell. So I showed an ankle pic. Very sexy. All right. So let's send it to everybody. Thanks. Okay. All right, let's go back and see what's going on. All right, what's up, Rosa? What's up, Goat? So big. Played golf and drank this afternoon. Don't typically drink. Feeling pretty spicy. Yeah, you had a good day, right? Is that why you weren't able to crunch numbers with us? Playing golf, having some burrs. I've only had one day off, Mother's Day, for 2 months. I'm super busy, super blessed, super confident. What's up, Overminding? What's up, Robert? What's up, Isaac? All right, let me go do the last thing. I've got to put it out on Twitter. I never go on Twitter, but it's just a... All right, I just saw that. I'm just going to do this right here. I'm just going to cut and paste it. Talk stocks. Okay. Cool. Cool. Nope. Shoot. I didn't actually. I needed to post the link. I didn't post the link of it. Way to go, Anon. Way to go. Putting out Twitter messages without the actual link. All right. All right, here we go. So, I completely forgot about ATER Investment Day until I got a ping in the Discord. Hey, you know what? I mean, that's not a bad thing. Like, if you can be patient, that's always a good thing. Because, listen, tomorrow they're going to basically try to pin the price, and they're going to try to get it under 350, and that's very normal. So, we kind of already expect that to happen, right? All right. All right, let's see. All right, so Fish has hooked us up with the latest Bloomberg options data. Looks like 350s have obviously the most volume, most open interest. That means that they're going to try to make sure that we don't get above 350. But if we did, that'd be really good. That'd be really bullish. But I mean, we obviously know that we need volume to kind of keep that going. How do we do today? Where are we? We had 3 million, so not great volume today. Yeah, we want to get that back up. Like, if we looked at the past couple, where are we on right now? The 1 hour. Let's go to the daily. We pretty much have been pretty low. What are these all? Let's see on here. Yeah, the volume's been low over the last couple weeks. Basically died when the market started going down. But, we're sitting here, and they'll probably let it chop around this range. If they're really spicy, they'll try to drop it down into the 290s. But it seems to me like this area right here, like the 312, 313, like that seems to be some sort of like area that they've been hanging out at for some reason. Let me see if we do this. Let's go to the 30-minute. I'm just looking back to see where we've kind of been this like range right here. And you go back to here, right? This entire range in this area right here is kind of like where we've been hanging out. And let's take a look. We already see on the MACD on the, 30 minutes where we've crossed over. Let's take a look at the hour. The hour we're crossed over on the MACD, and we're still going. Let's go to the 4 hour. 4 hour is about to cross over. So that's what we want to see is this 4 hour crossover, and then that means on the daily we should be about to cross over as well. Yeah, so right here we're like right up on it. So I think next week is going to be probably where the thing tries to cross over. So we'll see. What's up, James? What's up, Fish? What's up, Stance? What's up, Steven? Finally got a live stream to say SNMP shows 900 short interest, but not on the other sites. Okay. Let's take a look real quick. I've got a bunch of different tools that we can take a look at real quick and just confirm. If you're not part of the Discord, you can always join it and send me a screenshot if you want to show me what you're talking about. But let's look it up real quick for you. That's Evolve, right? That's the oil, right? Is that the energy company, right? I think I took a look at them real quick. Let me just see what their short interest is. They're reporting right now 54% of the float is shorted, which is about 2.2 million shares. Let's take a look at the ownership. Institutions own about 4.2 million. Where's the float, though? Huh. Where is the float? Normally they show you that in there. All right, let me take a look at Ortex real quick. All right, let's take a look. So they're reporting right now that the free float out on loan is about 71%. 60% of the float is shorted on that, and 100% utilization. Is it on the threshold? No. Is it FTDs? So they had more FTDs back in April 25th. The FTDs have died down since then, but that's about when ATER was having FTD issues also. Shares on loan. What's the cost to borrow, though? Okay, cost to borrow is going up, which is good. It's still not real high, though, so it needs to go a little bit higher before the shorts become uncomfortable with that. Let's take a look at any warrants, though, because that's where they can kind of get you sometimes, is SNMP. No, they don't have a ton. They have about, looks like, they've got an ATM registered right now, but they've already depleted most of their stuff. They do have a shelf right now that's got about 84 million. And let's just take a look real quick at... Yeah, so they still have about 1.6 million for an ATM capacity, but for the most part, they're doing okay. They don't really have a huge need for cash. They're cash positive, so that's a good thing. I don't see, their float's pretty large, though. It says they've got good amount of shares. So why is it that they must have a low free float? That's probably what's going on. Okay, so I took a look. Steven, if you want to show me, if you want to join the Discord, we can send you a link. And if you want to DM me a screenshot of TD or whatever you're seeing, you can do that. I'll throw out here. But we can look into it. We've been actually playing with the DTC stuff. We've been crunching numbers and trying to work out the float, so maybe we can figure out that problem too for you. All right. Let's take a look at, what are you guys looking for right now? All right. Mavis, yeah. MVIS, right? Mavis. All right. The question is, can they really hold it at 350 or will it rip? I mean, it can. It just, they need some volume. That's kind of the, for Aterian, if they get some volume out of even like just slightest bit of volume, it would fly. That's just how the stock is. And it will probably end up on Reg Show if it gets volume. Is there a volume cycle? I mean, here's the deal. So when the stock's moving up, there's volume. When the stock's not moving up, there's no volume. Like, look at this, like, just dead. We're at least having a little bit of stuff, but, like, we're right now on track to, you know, go back into this range if, you know, we stay quiet. Now, here's the thing. If they need to actually, like, cover some and they actually do send the stock a little bit higher, then retail can get interested again, then you'll see volume again. But that's how it works. We typically need, because retail doesn't do anything unless the stock's moving. Like, you, even though it's counterintuitive, because what you want to do is you want to buy the stock when it's low. That way you can sell it when it's higher. Retail doesn't do that. Retail does this. They go, oh, wait, the stock's already, you know, 60% up. Let me go FOMO in. And then they're surprised, you know. And it's like, no, you're supposed to buy this stuff before it runs. That's what we're doing with DTC. Like, we found DTC when it was like $3-4 a share, and we've been kind of doing research on it. That's what you do. You buy it down here, and then by the time that people find out about it, you're making money. Like, that's how this is supposed to work. So it's smarter to load down when things look horrible. I mean, this stock, honestly, like, let me just show you DTC on Webull. Hold on. Oops. And we'll go back into Aterian, but I wanted to show you guys the example, and we'll bring it back to Aterian, right? So That's DT, not DTC. DTC. Here we go. This is literally just straight free fall, right? Stock was 23 on its IPO and just plummeting. Hit a low of 366, and then since then we get obviously a reversal happening, right? So it's going to be breaking out of this channel here. Like if it's starting to break out of the channel, and then it's going to probably be going back up. So now it's a matter of if we figured out this float thing, and I think we're getting closer to it. It seems like something's going on because institutions own a lot of shares. Anyway, back to Aterian. If that's what people want to talk about, we can gladly do that. If you can hit the like button, that'd be great. What's up, Tom? Don't want to be a huge distraction, but why does Blink charging not have more retail interest in short squeeze play? Recently set a record for quarter small float EV. So the problem, SB, is this. You can have the greatest setup in the world, and this is the problem with Aterian. Aterian had one of the best setups in the entire market for a short squeeze, and retail can't seem to just get it together and like hold and buy and accumulate. Like they're doing it, but it's like hurting cats. Like this is a stock that like should be higher than it is, but like anytime there's anything, the price goes down, people are just falling apart. Like listen, I know some people bought this stock when it was like 16 or 17 a share, and that's like one of those things where it's like it's just been a falling knife since then. And then it finally had that nice run up, and then it went right back down. And so, this is where people start losing faith, and they go, "Oh, well, this can't be a thing." And then it will run again, and then they'll go, "Oh, FOMO in," and that's how these stocks work sometimes. The smart ones accumulate when it's low, and then they get back in. Or they just add to their position, I should say. And then the ones that are chasing are the ones that are buying back in when it's up here, when you would have made the most money if you had been stacking it down here at the lowest levels. When things look awful, that's when you want to typically add. This company's not at risk for being delisted. Like, they're not. Like, they've got $44 million in cash. They've got $75 million in inventory. They're trying to weather the storm. They're not going anywhere. But yeah, like for that one you were talking about, right? So Blink, they're like a charging station, right? I think they're going to be proof of concepts out in California, if I remember correctly, right? Went all the way up to 64. Boom. Now we're sitting here in the 16s. The other thing is, if you actually like take a look, they're still high because like retail, once things go over like basically $10, a lot of retail, they'll find things more interesting when they're like $3-4 a share than because they feel like they can get more shares than when things are like 15-16. If I would bet you if this drops down into like the 8 to 12 range, which it probably won't, but I'm just saying if you saw that like this area when they were consolidating before they ran up. And you can look at this and almost be like, this is, like a Wyckoff accumulation. Then up here, it's distribution. So they're selling up here. They have another set of things. This is accumulation. Then they broke down. Now we'll probably go through another set of like accumulation, and then it might run back up. So. Let's see. FinViz has a hidden short float and short interest percentage. I don't know. Let's take a look at that. FinViz stocks. And then we'll type in Aterian. All right, so I don't see. Finviz has hidden short float. So I see the short float, and it just doesn't have any numbers there. It's possible they just didn't update the data, or they're having trouble tracking it. That's what I'd say. Yeah, I mean, I think I told you guys. See if I can find this news article. Here we go. The Street wrote up a little piece on things that can actually, squeeze. They have Redbox. They've got Solo Brands, which is DTC, which is the one we've been talking about. And they look at that. And last but not least, we have Aterian, a software platform popular with retail investors. It draws attention for dilution in September, but they announced that they wouldn't be exercisable for 6 months. Aterian is still running for a short squeeze in June. Wouldn't be surprised that the hype of the volatile meme stock is influenced by sentiment around the Aterian as well. So, yeah. Just so you guys know, it's still making, yeah, Redbox. Yeah, we can cover them. Basically, Redbox has got warrants at 11, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Redbox at some point run. I did see their options look pretty stacked. So what I would imagine for them for the short term would be they're going to basically kick around here. They're going to try to shake the tree as much as they can, but they'll probably run up to about 11. I would personally get out around this area right here because as soon as those warrants hit, they're going to dump down. But you could make a good little chunk if you do short term, like in this, this range. And that's not financial advice. It's just, if I was looking at this for myself, I would look at what they did last time. They might have a day where they just run and it touches and then it drops. For me, I would play this within like $2 or $3 profit and then get out. That's just how I would play it. RTS, why don't you approve Reddit posts? Isn't that your job? No, my job is to moderate the community. If you don't have enough karma to post on the community and you expect me to sit there all day long waiting for you to write a post and then get it approved when you don't even bother to DM me, then yeah, I've told people in the past this. Listen, I've got a full-time job. I write DD. I research stuff. Like, I run this Discord with other mods. Like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff we're doing. And to be honest with you, I can't sit there and just watch Reddit all day long. So, no. If you want your stuff posted, DM me. I've pretty much on cue done that for every single person. And I'll approve it. So, but yeah. What's up, Jason? What's up, club members? What's up, Overminding? Yeah, you wish you could buy some DTC, but had put some money to pay my dad's housing taxes. Yeah, it is. It is what it is. All right. DTC, it's not breaking out. It's just higher. The more momentum on the next leg down, like an Olympic diver. Yeah, I mean, so here's what we're trying to work out the float, and this has been a really interesting thing because obviously they have something different than a lot of, so they have Class B shares, but they also have this like really kind of like weird breakdown of like how all this is going to play out because it's been a while since I've seen institutions have such high ownership of and insiders having like a huge amount of ownership on a stock that literally looked like a falling knife, but like it's got a lot of people that are invested in it. And so I'm trying to figure out like what's going on with these Class B shares. Why? So the other thing is, why is it taking for everyone forever to get back to me? Like normally when I write these companies, they get back to me within like a couple hours, maybe a day. Like I'm still waiting to hear back from both like IQ Capital and from SP Global. They don't seem to have answers for me, which is kind of weird. So very, very interesting. So all right, let's go back to Aterian. All right, so the 8K isn't bullish. We don't know at this point. We need to find out. I mean, obviously they're going to be able to pass things easier, which could be a dual-edged sword. We don't know if it's going to be good or not. It would be good though to be able to say, all right, well, we're going to get something done really quickly, and we don't need to have a huge, long, drawn-out process. They can just get something done, makes them a little bit more agile. All right. I had an old college girlfriend buy Home Labs air fryer because she liked mine. Makes a mean rotisserie. Yeah, I mean, and honestly, the smartest thing you guys could do, like, and this is not financial advice, but buying the stock is great. Buying the stock though doesn't raise the actual price because most retailers shares never like hit the exchange. So the one thing that could shut up the short thesis is if Aterian actually has a really good quarter, which means if you actually bought some Aterian products. So, like for me, I just ordered a chair because I told you guys I had some, money come in from the sale of my home. I had a rental house that I sold with my brother. So I'm going to buy a chair from them. I'm going to buy, like, I already have an air fryer. But, I'm going to go basically through, like, what I need. I already bought a beer fridge last quarter or maybe it was 2 quarters ago from Aterian, but I'm going to buy more stuff. And that stuff is going to end up hitting at least the books. And yeah, maybe my one purchase isn't, but when you have 14,000 people all kind of, uniting behind this, and if there's something you could buy from a company that you have shares in, I do the same thing with I have stock in ExxonMobil, so I try to fill up at ExxonMobil. I have Costco. I try to shop at Costco. I have Amazon. I try to shop at Amazon. I try to, same thing with Aterian. I try to buy Aterian products when I can. That's the smartest thing you can do. If why would you buy a company and not support it? Like, if you're going to use some of their products, you might or something that they make, you might as well buy their stuff. So that's just, my opinion. Okay. Okay. So you said short interest, the float. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, but it's only showing up on, you said TD? He was just showing me this. So they're reporting it as 953% of the float. The question is, what are they counting as the float? So the market cap, shares outstanding is 148, right, million. Right? The market cap, 73% held by institutions. So if we were to do that, I'll probably have to break it down. I'm not going to be able to do it live, but we can do that. Let me do this real quick. I don't see the gamma squeeze leaderboard. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I got it now. You guys all have these crazy names. All right, so if we go in here, you can see right here DTC, and then 2 down from it is Aterian. So we're basically ranked 26th and 28th for the ones that I'm dealing with DD on right now. Obviously we don't want to get those up, but at the same time, yeah. So, like, for example, this, right? BBAI. This is not going to squeeze. They've got warrants out, and they also have. I like them long, but they're not going to squeeze. Like, they may move up to unlock the warrants, but they also just issued out more shares. So, like, they've diluted their float. So this is not squeezing. I don't know why this is, Was this the gamma? Is that why? Gamma squeeze. Okay, that's why. Okay. But yeah. All right. Let's see. Just saying, the charts don't look like Wyckoff. You can't look at a picture and say it looks like this. It's a pretty specific strat. I don't know what you're referring to. We trace the SPY all day as usual. Yep. What's up, Travis? DTC float is insane. It's probably already 100% owned. Yeah, it could be. I mean, we're still working out the details on that. If anyone hasn't checked out the DTC room inside that Discord, we've been trying to kind of crunch the numbers all day. So, Big Lebowski Lexinator had asked me how it basically started because Lexinator said, "How does something get 140 or what was it, 430% short?" And I was like, "That's not possible." I was like, "You can't have that with the new rules, especially." So, let me see if I can find it. Here we go. So just to show you guys, yeah. So like he said, how is something 400% shorted or short interest? And I was like, you can't have that. And so I looked up Fintel, and sure enough, it has this. Now it's been updated, and they actually removed this portion of it. So they have all this other information, but they took out the percent of the float shorted, which I thought was interesting that they removed that section. So the next thing that I kind of saw when he, looking at that was like, something's wrong. There must be something going on with the float. And then we looked up institutional shares long, 86 million, when there's only 63 million shares outstanding. So I was like, so something's obviously wrong with this picture. We just have to figure out what it is, because that's a 22 million, like 22.82 million share difference. Looked up like institutional holdings. If you look here, 78 million were listed. Now here's the thing: these top ones right here, like Summit, Bertram, Newberger, and Aterian, those ones are all insiders. So that's what we found out. So then I added basically all the other ones up, and you get like 21 million or something like that for ownership. And so, but those other ones get counted towards insiders. So it's a whole, if you get a chance to check out that room, we're still working on it. So okay, I'm gonna grab a dehumidifier from them this quarter. Yeah, I mean, if it's something you're gonna use, then do it. I mean, don't buy junk that you're not gonna use, but like, if you could use a dehumidifier, buy a dehumidifier from them. Like, if you're gonna need an AC unit for your house, buy it from them. Like, if I was going to, buy another fridge or something like that, I'd buy it from them. So, my sister has a squatty potty. My mom has an iron clothes steamer. I'm telling everyone about the Aterian products. Yeah, and that's a good thing. So. Oh, you guys were talking about the Wyckoff comparison. Okay, so he just wants to, I guess, prove his point that, yeah, I mean, okay. So anyone that's curious, so this is not obviously great resolution, but Wyckoff accumulation patterns schematic number 2. Typically, you have a falling, like just down channel. It meets with an auto rally. You hit a spring test, you move up, and then you go back down, right? You get below these lines, and then at this point you accumulate, and then you make your move up into phase D and E. And then he was showing this is us going down, basically cutting around. What we'll need to see is an auto rally to like around 5 and some change off a spring, and then, they're not that dissimilar. Typically these things go on like the daily though. And this is on, is it the daily or is this on, what's the time frame on this? I don't see a time frame. Maybe I'm blind. No, it's 30 minutes. You have it on the 30 minute, that's why. But yeah, like I typically look at them on the daily. I mean, if you look, I had drawn out what I thought was going to be here. Because Wyckoff can take, you can have like Wyckoffs within Wyckoffs. I thought this was basically, because you had basically this thing where it was like a falling down channel, right? It kind of, boom, we fell down, and then you moved into this like large move up right here. And I thought maybe this is this, this is possibly, the low, right? You hit the spring, and then you moved up to this auto rally at the top, and then, we would move within these channels. So what I'm looking at, if I was to bring up, I can get a better picture of do this. I think I've got a picture of Wyckoff that's a little higher quality than that one. Just the resolution's bad on it. Here we go. Let's see, is this 2? Okay. All right. So you have this, and you typically draw the lines up there. That's what I did up here. Here, let's take a look. So I have to zoom out a little bit, or I have to move it. Might be better with Weeble. Let me take a look at that. This is still on the daily, but I can at least move this around. So you had this falling part right there. Let me pull up. Right. So we have downward pressure right here. We'll just do this part right here. Kind of have to move it though because of this. All right, so downward pressure. You hit this spring, auto rally, right? Then you go down, and then this is the part where you have the peak here. That's what I thought. Maybe it's here. Then it comes down, and then we hit our low here. And then this would be our spring test right here for phase B, right? So we go up in the first chop, then we come down, and then we come up for the second chop here. And this would be about like maybe $5 to $6 would be my guess. I don't know, maybe more than that. Or the question is, did we start a new one within this bigger one? So for example, so we were down, right? We hit this part right here. We had our top, our secondary, and now we're going back down. And then, the question is, where are we on this? Are we here or are we like here? And we'll have them move up. Okay. What's up, Hyun? All right, now if I can convince my ex-wife Aterian stop with sore because they love to spend money. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Once again, like this stock moved like there was no volume here at all, just zero volume, and then just out of nowhere went up. We can have the same sort of thing. The MACD looks like, look at the MACD right now. The MACD on the daily is about to cross over. You can see there's a slight move up in the RSI. You can see this stochastic start curling up and over and cross back over high. All this stuff can happen. They're trying to fight this. They want to keep it flat and then go back down. But yeah, the end goal would be this crosses over and then we move up to like probably like a 5-ish area. I think that's what Booksy had for his TA. So, I mean, that wouldn't surprise me at all. All right. Anyone got any questions? You want to talk about anything? Watch Stranger Things 4 with your woman this weekend. I want to. In fact, I mean, if you guys are good, if everyone's good right now, I'll go up and watch. She's watching right now, and I think she should be done about the episode that I finished. I was on episode 3. So after I streamed yesterday, I stayed up for another hour, and I watched episode 3 of Stranger Things. I really like that show. It's a good show, and anyone that hasn't checked it out should check out Stranger Things on Netflix. But I haven't even started yet. Too busy. Yeah, I feel you. I just decided I wasn't going to sleep. I was just going to at least get that done with. So that's something I was like, it's worth it to me to lose an hour of sleep to go watch that. I'm going to coin the term TA devil horns. Massive move upwards, immediately down, backing up to higher, then take it back forever. ATER had this, behaves like a Head and Shoulders. Yeah, go right up with like a whole thing, and then you can term devil horns. I think Booksy likes to use cat ears, but yeah. But that's part of the fractals. So if anyone knows anything about fractals, they typically behave in very similar fashions. Like you can look at some of these, like they'll repeat themselves too. Like you'll see if like a thing like this, it looks very similar to something like this. These fractals repeat themselves often. Like you can find probably multiple different sections that look the same. You can do this also with like AMC and because this is all algorithmic trading. So like you should be able to see sections that look like literally identical to each other, and you can cut and paste them on top of each other, and they look almost the same. What was with the price action after hours? Are we expecting a move up tomorrow? I mean, the MACD is trying to cross over. I mean, you guys have seen that before, and I've talked about it. It's ATR. There we go. So if we break down the 1 minute just to show you. Yeah, so, I mean, from what I understand, somebody has been trying to kind of play with this stuff after hours. He's been on the stock for a long time. So what he does is he's trying to see what these guys are letting the algo do during the off hours. From what I understand. So I saw people swing trading it in the after hours. They called it a double top. Is there an upside down coming this week in crypto? I don't know. I'd have to look at which, whatever you're looking at. Crypto is getting pumped in and out right now because people need liquidity for the market. So these guys who, all these hedge funds, they're literally going in and out and like running up certain things and dumping them down on other things to try to gain liquidity and gain extra money. So it's frustrating for a lot of crypto people because these guys are basically just pushing the market up and down, up and down. It's driving people nuts. Stock Talk. What's up, Anon? It's your brother from another mother. Executive order should go into effect tomorrow if Biden doesn't sign another one. We'll see if the margin calls start within the trading week. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what it looks like. If you look at Aterian, right, we'll go back to the daily. This thing looks like it wants to curl up and go, right? You see the RSI starting to curl right there. You see right here, the MACD is about to cross over. It's like touching. All it needs is one good green day, and it will cross over. And then, the last time it crossed over was right here. And then we had this run. And you had this little small, little run there. But, typically you'll get some green days once the MACD crosses over on the daily. So, fractals and parsley. Or paisley. Very pretty. Yeah, I mean, shorts right now they're doing their best to not get margin called, and the big stocks like GameStop, they want to knock that thing down, but they're probably gonna have to let it go back up to 200. That'd be my guess. Is their goal for it? I mean, it just keeps snapping back up. You went here, you went all the way down to 40. And then you went all the way up to 350, chopped down into the 150s, went back up to 350 again, came back into 200s and the 180s, 200s, then they've been dragging it down, hit a low of what was 78 or something like that, 68, and then pumped it back up, and then now it's kind of going back up again. MACD's crossed over. They're trying to push it down here, you can tell, but, at some point, margin calls could come, and if they do, then there's going to be a lot of really, upset and bankrupt hedge funds. So the big ones will hold on, though. They'll beg, borrow, and steal to make sure they don't go under. But we'll see. They've had a lot of time to prepare for this, if this is it. We're going to find out. And honestly, if it doesn't happen tomorrow, it doesn't change anything for me. I mean, I've been in GameStop since December of 2 years ago. You can't rattle my patience. I just keep buying more. Keep buying more Aterian. Keep buying more GameStop. I just add. That's what I do. And at some point, I think both of the stocks are going to be higher. And I'll continue writing DD, and I'm trying to find other things also in the meantime to remain patient and then add more money back into these things. Let's call it like this: shorts are trap, borrowing on the daily, then returning it. What goes up must come down. Goes back up. A squeeze is not $10 or $20. It's a rocket. Nothing changes. Yep. I like BBBY. I actually added a position to that one. I think right now, if you look, it just crossed over right on the daily MACD. I think they were oversold in this whole area, and they're still trying to keep it down, but I think they're going to move back up. I think they're going to make a nice bounce off this, because I think 750 was about their spring, and they should see a nice move up. And if GameStop and all those other ones run, the BBBY will run as well. So I think we're up 2% in the after hours. But yeah, I do have a position, both calls and shares of BBBY. Yeah, I mean, to me, you want to keep Aterian down there, that's fine. I'll just accumulate shares. Took away the sell button for me. Yeah. I mean, I think people were surprised on how much retail owns of Aterian. Like, I do believe that. Like, I think people were expecting us to have, like, maybe a couple 100,000 shares. And like, no, like, our Discord alone has, like, millions of shares. Like, that's been established. Like, we already did the rough math on the Fintel stuff, and we already own, like, 2 point something million just from us. And there's a lot of retail that did not sign up for that. I can tell you right now. And that was pretty short-lived. And maybe we should go back to it. But I'm just saying that, like, plenty of people that have, like, thousands and thousands of shares didn't sign up for it. Like, we have our own whales, like, that just didn't want to register those things in there. Thoughts on the SEC putting out the game show parody? I mean, it was so tone deaf. For an agency that doesn't do their own job, to sit there and mock retail investors is just infuriating. Like, the SEC just made a really bad call with that. Like, that's just the truth of it. So, I sold 75% of my AMC at a loss. We got some bots in here again. Hold on. I'd be holding blue chip bags and going to the IRS had I sold AMC last June. Yeah, let me see. Did someone remove those already? Okay, Just Investor got them. Thank you. Porn bots are back, guys. It's a bull sign. I wanted to register my shares with Fintel, but it wouldn't connect to Webull. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of reasons why people didn't do it. Some people just didn't want to. Other people didn't trust the process. They didn't want people, Fintel to know all their information. So there's plenty of reasons. The Canadians couldn't do it at all. So it's a very imperfect thing that was going on there. But, I think you guys need to realize how much power you guys hold, especially down at these levels. And so, yeah, I mean, they're going to shake the tree. That's what they do. They want this company to be out and under the ground. They want to bury it. But, it's not going to happen right now. Like, Aterian was able to get a private placement. They were able to eliminate their long-term debt. So, like, there's a lot of good things that the company's doing. It's not all roses. There is, obviously stuff that they can be doing better. And I'm not going to pretend like that's not true. Like, I'm just reading through. Sorry, I'm reading through some messages. So anyway, I'm going to transfer my stuff to Moo. I did not tell you guys to do that. Knock it off. I haven't even asked the entire group. I just, Yeah, I mean, the SEC doing that is just... It was very tone deaf and lack of, understanding. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea, but They probably didn't think it was going to be received that way, but obviously that shows you how they think. Like, they think that was supposed to catch our attention and be like, oh, I didn't do enough research. Sorry, I'm trying to steal one more jelly bean. There we go. Pretty much all of them are black that's left. Nobody in my house likes the licorice. At least transferred to Baba. There's multiple shorts on this, they rotate. So I think at one point Hudson was short, and I think they closed their position or at least reduced it. And then at some point Citadel and Susquehanna came in, and they shorted it for a while. It rotates. It's just, there are some people that have lasted this entire time, and they have more, they've had long puts against us. So. All right, let's see. Did you see Trey's YouTube video about the SEC? No, I haven't had time to watch other YouTubers in a long time. So, did he do something cool or tear them apart, hopefully? If Moon was reading, you can hook me up. I'll promote you. I'm a sellout. I mean, they wrote me and asked me if I wanted to be a part of their promotion thing, and I would get a cut of people that sign up. But I have not committed to anything. They did ask me today if I read over the stuff and would I mind. I've always said to you guys that I would never do anything. I'm not going to do it unless the group is fine with it. Like, if people are like, no, we don't think that's, right, then I'm not going to do it. When the stock hit 40, was that a squeeze? So it happened on really low volume, beyond the glory. It's really, really interesting how that worked. Because if you actually look back here on the, Aterian chart, right? When this thing ran to 40, and here's the thing. This thing ran from basically 142 all the way to 48, $49 a share, right? Almost $50 a share. And during this entire time, look at the volume. I'm zoomed out a lot, but look, there's just no volume. We didn't get volume until this squeeze right here. And guess what? If we actually go to the other chart, so on this right here, let me go to this, right? So look at just this. Compare the two. So we had this nice run up right here, right? Where's the volume? There's no volume, right? Just got pushed up, right? And then it hits that high. And guess what? Shorts aren't in this. Shorts aren't shorting it up here. You know where shorts came in? Shorts came in here. Shorts came in on the back end of this when the shipping crisis happened. Shorts didn't short it at $48 a share. I'm sure they wish they did, but they didn't really get in until here, and then they really pushed it down in this area. This is when they really attacked the stock. They beat on this earnings by a good amount. They beat every indicator they had, and yet they got pushed down to 304. And then they had this nice huge rally. That was $250 million in volume on this day. ran up again, and this is when retail FOMO'd in. Like, this is when retail was like getting in, and this is when retail FOMO'd in. And then if you look, right, this is the where retail has been like in for a while, right? The money flow stayed in, and then it moved up even more, and just has been pinned. So, I mean, we have not seen a mass exodus of retail selling on this stock. Who's Invictus, Incognis in the Discord? Yeah, so he and I have talked before. From what I understand from him, and I don't have any way of verifying this, but he says he works in a family office. And I asked him, listen, like, if you want to join the group, you're more than welcome to. He said that he would come in, and for the most part, I think you have to remember, what he's saying is true. He is a trained financial professional. So for him, he looks at things very like the way a professional would, which is he's not going to go and like, okay, well, there's a lot of short interest, and this thing could run. But as when you're dealing with people's money, and you've basically taken like an oath to basically like be in good faith to do what's the most logical, safe thing to do, they would never recommend Aterian to anyone. Like, they would recommend like an Amazon and Apple, and that's what their job is. They're never going to be like, yeah, this is something you should, because he's looking at only fundamentals. He's not looking at short interest. He's not looking at like, and I think he also, because he has friends that work in the industry, understands the other side of this, which is the big guys normally win. Like, there are very few times where the little guy wins. And like, you can say like GameStop, but GameStop, technically the little guy didn't win. The little guy got crushed, and they're still waiting because they took away that's how the system is right now. Like, they basically cheated, and they took away the buy button so that the stocks could only go one way, which is down. And that allowed the brokers to be able to cover at like reasonable levels, because if they kept the pressure on, it was going to squeeze into infinity. And they couldn't have that. They couldn't let the poors win. So, I think for him, he's going to always have to err on the side of caution, because, he can't tell you, yeah, I mean, there's a chance that this thing could squeeze up higher, but like, that's not guaranteed. So therefore he has to be like, well, fundamentally, I'd rather see these things happen. So, I don't mind someone giving a counterpoint. Like, to me, I think that's fair. I don't want an echo chamber. If he wants to knock apart the stock, that's fine. I can rebut some of the stuff he says. I haven't really looked at it, to be honest with you, because I was putting my daughter to bed, and then I came down here to talk to you guys. But yeah, I mean, he's a financial professional from what I understand, and if he doesn't think that Aterian is a great company, that's fine. Like, there's a lot more than just the fundamentals. There's stuff going on here, which I think a lot of times, like, I was talking to one of my buddies that works for a large pension fund in Texas. It's like literally, I think, like the teachers union, right? So this is a very, very high profile job, because there's a lot of teachers in Texas, and there's a lot of money in that fund. And I was asking him about GameStop back when the GameStop was running, and he was like, listen, man, like, it's interesting what's going on. He was like, but like, I could never recommend this to any of my clients. Like, the stock's just way too volatile. Like, and he was also saying, like, he worked on Wall Street for a long time, like for, I think, like 6 or 7 years. And he was like, he actually did it for about 4 years, and then he took a year off and just traveled the world because he was burnt out. He was just like, I can't do this. He was putting in like 80-hour weeks, and He's like, I just lived at the office. Like I would go get drunk, pass out, and be up in the morning again to just do it again. And we did this. He did it basically 6 days a week. Sunday was his only day off. So I have to wake up at 4 a.m. to watch the ApeCoin Golden Cross. Yeah. What's up, Vlad? Florida has no humidity. That is untrue. I've been to Florida in August. It's pretty miserable. July, August. Sorry if you asked this, but do you think the float going to 65 million will affect us? No, I mean the float right now is at. I'm pulling my sheet real quick. Actually, nothing really changes because those shares actually will count towards. I think I've showed you guys this before, but let me pull it up real quick. Okay, so just so you guys can see, I showed you this. This is September, right? So if those warrants, once those warrants hit, right, we go in here, and now what you'll see is these. This will be the total shares outstanding. This is going to be essentially your float. So you take your insiders, assuming the insiders didn't. I think the insiders actually have gone up. So this number may change. It may be higher. But what you're going to end up seeing is institutional ownerships will go up to 7 million, and then you'll end up with a free float that's 21.9. Or yeah, the float really doesn't change that much for the like short interest and all that stuff. So if you look here, this is us now. That's what it will be then, assuming that these numbers don't change a little bit, like the insiders and stuff like that. Because the insiders were just granted a bunch of shares. So this probably is not going to be accurate. It might be like more like 15 million. Let's just throw that out there. And then this needs to be... Okay, there we go. So what we should have is, yeah. Yeah. Let's change this. I just want to make sure that's going through. Something's not right. Hold on. Here we go. Let's see. So anyway, but yeah, you'll see that the float doesn't change that much, the free float. So it's not gonna be that bad. All right, this is where I parked the Rollies. I think he likes the company, just not the upper management. Yeah, and I honestly, I think that's fine. Like, there are things that I don't love about the management. I think the management could be more proactive. I think that, I think they're navigating a difficult time, but at the same time, I think they should be scrambling, and I think they should be bending over backwards for the retail trade. The retail right now is keeping them alive. Like, institutions had pretty much really reduced the amount of like ownership in their stuff, like, and they're just starting to go up again for the first time in a while. But like, retail stuck around, right? Retail's been here for them, so I think they should. And I know they've introduced the shareholder buy program, and that's a start. And I think for them, they need to be figuring out any which way they can add shareholder value, and if that means that they stay in constant communication with us and tell us, what's going on. That's a good thing. And I think IR has done a good job with that. At least anytime I've asked to speak to them, they've always came through. So, I do like the fact that like IR has been communicative with me at least and a couple other people. And I've had good conversations with them. I've never spoke to the CEO. Obviously he's probably busy, but I have spoken to IR, and I do think Ilya's done a really good job at least conveying anything I've asked and like answering questions that he's able to answer. He's not able to answer all the questions I have, obviously, but he does everything within the rules, and at least tries to inform me when I ask questions. But yeah, like I think the new CFO is going to be good for them. I think the old one I don't know a whole lot about, but I do know that this new one has a lot of experience from Amazon, and yeah, they had to pay a lot to get him, but I think that's probably a good thing to have. And if they can figure out ways of reducing down their liabilities and spending, I think that's that's going to be a good thing in the future. But I do want them to start really engaging and starting. I know that's not their MO. It's not how they operate. They typically only put out information when they need to. They're trying to they're trying to basically allow themselves to let the numbers speak for themselves. But the problem is the numbers have not beat in a while. So I want to see that start to change. That's what we expect of them. We've been hanging in here supporting them. They need to show us that, they can navigate these choppy waters. So what about us gals? What about us gals? What about... Why are the June 17th options beefed up? I think a lot of people rolled their stuff to then, because that would be after the executive order. And also, I think they just needed another time to basically set up shop, and that would make sense why you would do it after the executive order if that was a catalyst. So we'll see. I mean, as that starts getting closer, we'll see how much of it, gets rolled again if they want to, or if it, really is legit. It's going to blow up in June. That's what they have. I mean, you can look at the options chains, take a look at it. If you guys want to donate, it's the super chat button in the lower right where you type. Thanks, Dom. Appreciate it. But, you guys do what you want. All right. It's 11 o'clock. I said I would go up and watch an episode with my wife, of Stranger Things. So if you guys are all good, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk about whatever you want. Hopefully you guys will see a little bit of... It took you a long time to find it. I appreciate it, Tom. Yeah, and what we'll do with the normal thing at the end here, we typically pull it up real quick. Wait a second. What about Goat? Are you a gal? What about us gals? Are you just... I mean, obviously, I don't know who's who. You guys are all just like icons on YouTube, but if you are a gal, I did not know that. I don't know if you were just being like facetious. No, I have a penis. Okay. You were just writing it out to be funny. Okay, that's fine. All right, guys. Well, let's do this. Hey, cow. All right, so I'll be back and forth in between the Aterian stuff and the DTC stuff. I'm going to try to finish the numbers. That way I can concentrate on Aterian again, but I just want to get at least the numbers locked up for DTC. So You guys enjoy your evening and get some good sleep, and I'll see you tomorrow, and then we can kind of catch up and do something maybe. Uh, I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow night. If I have time, then I will. Actually, I'll probably stream just for a couple hours, maybe like an hour or two, and have some drinks and talk to you guys, and we can go over any research you want to for the following week. But the one I think is coming up, the 2 weeks from now is going to be kind of the key, I think, which is the 17th, and that's going to be an interesting, next week into the week after. So, all right. You guys have a wonderful evening, and I'll talk to you later. And then, oh yeah, we always have to put up the. If you're not part of the Discord, you're more than welcome to come and join us. Here it is, and yeah, keep the good vibes going. Like, things will be okay. Just take deep breaths. All right, and there we go. I do have a Patreon. If you want to donate, you're more than welcome to. It's not required. All right. You guys have a great evening, and I will go ahead and jump off.